It Chapter 2.
It's Chapter 2.
Alright, let's just go to it. What didn't you like about this movie?
Actually, this movie, I liked watching this movie. Me and my wife walked out, and we had to really think about, like, was it
a good movie,
was
or
it a
were
good
you
movie,
just
or-
excited to see it?
Yeah. You know what? It was an okay movie.
It was an okay movie.
I didn't think it was as good as the first one. I thought the first one was great just because the first one focused on more of the kids. This one was just I like the way the director does it, like going back and forth timeline, going flashback to the kid, going back to the adult. But for me personally, I wanted more the story to be about the adults.
Right.
Because the way when they go back, which I thought was brilliantly done, I don't even know if that's the right word to say, but that it was almost the same beat, same scenes that we've already seen in the first one. There was nothing really new to shed light on what the mystery of Pennywise is, and so
I wish they would have spent less time going back and doing the same thing they did with the child actors. I wish they would have found out what Pennywise is and explored the tortoise. If you know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Anyway, and it really caught me off guard, the whole de-aging of the children, because they had to do it. It took me out of the movie.
Yeah,
their voices had changed, so they had to edit those and make them sound like they used to, and that took me out of the movie.
Yeah, I didn't. And the other, might as well just do all. We don't like some of the things we don't like. Besides the de-aging technology, it threw me off too, as well as the CGI. It wasn't that good.
Yeah,
that one scene when and you've seen this, this is, I guess we can spoil this. Yeah, this is a spoiler.
Spoil it.
You haven't watched it, turn this off, come back. When she goes to meet that old lady, you've seen the scene. Is what it was released for everybody to see, and then you finally see what her true form is when she comes after. It looked like Gollum. The technology didn't look so good. For some reason, the first one was so much better in my opinion. It just looks better. But this one, it took me out. I'm like, oh man, it was so bad.
I feel like the first one was a lot more simplified. It knew what it was. It was a coming of age movie with a horror aspect with this clown. And then because the book is so long, they felt like, hey, we need to shove some of this extra exposition into the second part, or else it's not going to make sense, or it's not going to be true to the book. And to me, that was a dumb idea. You should have kept it as simple as you did the first one.
And the other thing is this movie was 2 hours and 45 minutes,
Bro,
I think.
It's a long
movie. But I would have been okay with it if they would have focused on more of the adults. And give me more of what
keep
their
the first
life.
movie as kids, keep the second movie
and give me the life, give me what they're going through. They gone through, like for instance, Bev, her character. They met, we know in the first one she was abused and sexually abused by her dad, because that's what in the book, but it doesn't show in the movie. But in this one, she was abused by her husband, and all of a sudden that was it. They don't go back to it. They don't mention it anymore. The other thing is James McAvoy. What's his name? Bill, right? Bill. He was making out with Bev, and he has a wife. Did they not mention?
I mean, that happened in the original and in the book.
But in the book, she was actually more involved.
Right.
And so, there were so many things that they left out. What else?
It's a very convoluted movie. It's got a lot in it, and it kind of took me out. Especially now, hats off to Bill Hader.
Oh, he's great.
He's great in this. But I have to say this. Every scene where there is a serious scene, it is undercut by some kind of joke. It's Marvelitis all over again.
Well, I think
there was so many scenes where I was like, dude, this is actually scary. And then someone would crack a joke. Be like, all right, not scary anymore. Okay. It's just a stupid movie.
Me and my wife talk about it. I mean, I kind of understand where you're coming from, but from the perspective of what the first one, it fits his character from the first to the second. Every time that you say they crack a joke. I think it was more, he's one of those guys to lighten the mood so that you don't get as scared. I know, but that's his character. And it's consistent from the first to this one. But the only thing this movie was good because of one thing was the cast.
Yeah.
And the chemistry. I thought the cast was amazing. They cast these the kids and adult looks pretty much alike if they were to grow up, I think. And so That might be the only positive thing about this movie.
I mean, it's a good watch, but
yeah.
it's not one of those movies where you could just pop in and watch it. It number one, you could watch that while you're doing the dishes and do anything and know exactly what's going on. But if you watch this movie while you're doing other things, you're gonna be super confused. So it's not an easy watch.
Pennywise. I love Bill Skarsgård. I think that's how you say his name, right?
Sure.
He's great, and every time, this is kind of funny, but for me, when he pops out on the screen, I wanted more of Pennywise. I want to watch him, just the way he talks. It's kind of like inviting. Like I can see why kids would gravitate towards him and then he eats their head. But but for some reason, every time he comes on screen, he just shines, and I wanted more of Pennywise. I thought he was really underused in this one. He wasn't in that much. Just mainly like a couple scenes and then at the end, and that was about it. If you really think about it. And so. What else do we have?
There was a lot of scenes that were kind of just like wash, rinse, repeat. Just the same things happen to the same kids over and over and over, and it's like taking up a lot of the movie. So this movie could have been shorter if they would have cut off some scenes. The other thing I have a problem with, we like this movie, by the way. It's just it's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell, but the other thing I didn't like is the ending, and I have a problem with this even in the book. I know it's in the book, but the whole entire time you want this to be the supernatural phenomenon, like Pennywise is like maybe a demon or some type that was born, but you learn in the book and in the movie that he's basically an alien from a different world.
Yeah, he's a destroyer of worlds.
And I can't do that. It kind of like it's a different movie once you know that that's coming and you reveal where they're from. It's kind of like that's a whole different movie. Like I hated it. I hated it. I can't stand it.
The kid Bill, when he's an adult, he turns out to be a screenwriter, and a lot of people don't like the endings to his book. Do you think that was a nod to Stephen King? Like,
Probably.
A lot of your books are good, but your endings suck.
Yeah, I think Stephen King, most of his book,
Yeah, and that whole cameo by Stephen King, could have done without it. Cool. Stephen King was in his own movie. That was cool.
Yeah.
Ow. Need that book.
Okay, let's stay positive. Is there anything that you like about, besides the cast and the chemistry that comes together? Who shined to you in this?
Bill Skarsgård is the best thing in this movie. Heath Ledger's Joker is iconic. Nobody can compare that. Now, I think if they did it
I agree.
down the road, again, reboot,
It would be hard.
it would be very hard because Bill Skarsgård does very well in this.
I love one of the things that they did was the Bill character going back, like he was kind of almost like trying to be a redemption type of character, trying to save everybody,
Save the kids.
and I thought that was pretty kind of like comes back around, and he still couldn't save that one kid. It's kind of pointless.
It sucks.
Maybe this isn't a good thing. Oh, one more thing about Bat. I hate the fact that it took him basically almost 15 minutes to be like, hey, we have to bring him down to our size, then we can kill him.
Oh, and the whole fact of bullying him.
Oh my gosh.
The bullying him, saying he's a clown.
Why didn't they knew that they did that in the first movie too.
Yeah.
Why don't they, at that point when they got to that house and they got into that well, going down to all the way down to where they first met Pennywise in person, in the first one, they remembered everything. And by that point, I'm like, why did they forget to do that in the beginning? Like, it didn't. I don't know. There's a lot of.
The whole final showdown was crap. Like bullying him to make him feel small and disappear. Like, really?
Yeah. I'm sorry. If he's from a different world, that should not kill Pennywise.
That's a good point.
In my opinion.
All right, let's give this a rating.
Okay, I give this Netflix.
Same.
Good movie. Just didn't.
A little too long.
Yep. Didn't live up to the first one. First one's great, but this one is not as great. But still entertaining. Yeah. Go check it out. Let us know what you think. It, Chapter 2.